Philip Clark. I'm here at Wizard World LA. I'm with David Wohl, who among other things is the creator of Witchblade in the Darkness. How you doing, David?
I'm okay, how are you?
Good. Now you've actually had a long and illustrious career in comics. Can you talk a little bit about your travels through the industry?
My road?
Your road to success?
I started as a high school intern at Marvel Comics in New York in 1985. I was the intern, opened up envelopes for people, and Secret Wars was going on at that time, and Chris Claremont would be there, like opening up his mail, and Walt Simonson would be there. It was a really cool time to start in comics. And then I was assistant editor for various jobs. I got hired by Mark Silvestri in 1993 to go work at Top Cow, and I was with him for, actually I'm still with him. I still do writing for them, and so I've been with them for like 12 or 13 years already. Wow. And now I'm with this company called Space Dog that does really good stuff. And I still write with Top Cow, and I'm also working on some small projects, like 7. Not to say that their projects are small, but yeah, whatever. And and that's why I'm today.
Now, how long have you been writing?
I wrote a little bit when I was at Marvel, but not really until I started working with Mark Silvestri, because he basically gave me opportunities to co-create new projects. We would just sit around and talk about things, and that's how Darkness got started, and we did Weapon Zero and some other books. And then Brian Haberlin and I went to lunch and started talking about this female character who had this weapon that was sort of like a Stormbringer kind of thing, like for the modern day, and that ended up becoming Witchblade when we brought in Mike Turner, and the rest is history for that. So yeah, I mean, probably at Top Cow was when I really started writing as my major part of my job.
But you never had any formal training, or?
Well, I mean, I went to school for psychology. That was a liberal art. Took a lot of English classes. No formal comic book writing training, no.
Right.
No, I'm not sure if anyone has any formal comic book writing training.
So who would you say your influences are creatively?
Well, back then, it was weird. Like, I wasn't a comic fan, like, when I started working at Marvel. It was a job that I was offered, so I just took it. So I didn't know much about comics. But then I started working at Marvel Universe, so I ended up, like, looking at everything. So my early comic influences, I think, even in the 80s, like, Frank Miller was doing Elektra Assassin at that time when I was an intern.
Yeah.
And I was, like, totally floored by that. In fiction, anything like Michael Moorcock I was into, and like James Ellroy crime stuff I was really into. Alan Moore, of course, I really loved his stuff. Really like across the board,
Cool. You've had a fair amount of success. You've actually had some properties been developed into film and television.
Yes.
But in general, comics is not a very profitable media. I mean, what did you do during the day before you could actually be a writer full time?
Well, I worked for a newspaper in Los Angeles. I did that. I mean, when I first moved here to California, I had nothing. I did movie surveys in Hollywood. I stuffed envelopes for a guy that did textbooks. So I did a whole bunch of little things like that. I mean, I kind of lucked out in that I was able to get editorial jobs in different places where I was at. So,
right. And
I was able to just write on the side. But yeah, I mean, for a while I had no idea that I was going to be doing that.
What kept you in the industry?
I like comics. I enjoy working in the medium more than anything else I've done. Although, since I started when I was 17, I haven't really done that much else.
Right.
But at Baskin-Robbins, I was an assistant manager there, and I could have done that. I was thinking about it, but I decided it wasn't really for me. But we did pick at all the peanut butter and chocolate.
Nice.
But yeah, so I mean, I've been in it I'm 39, and I've been in comics since I was 17. So for 22 years, I've been involved in comics in one way or another. So I don't really know what else I would do. I don't actually have any other skills.
What kind of advice would you give to somebody that's looking to get into the industry? As a writer, it's tough. What would you tell people?
It's persistence. Just keep trying. I think Scott Lobdell, writer of the X-Men, cites the fact that he was a comedian in New York, and he used to come to Marvel and just drop off submissions all the time, and he wrote tons of submissions for everybody. And then Bob Harris eventually gave him a break. And I think so many stories you'll hear about is people who just try and try and try and try. You email your stuff to people. You never know who's going to look at it and when. And you just got to keep trying.
Very nice.
You just never know when the break's going to happen. And it might not, but you're never going to know unless you try.
Yeah. Now, people who want to stay in touch or find more of your work, where would you point them?
Well, they could check out my MySpace page. I think I'm David Wohl on MySpace. I think I'm the only David Wohl on MySpace.
Awesome.
TopCat.com. I think I have a bio through them. But I think MySpace is probably the best. Oh, and Comic Space.
Very cool. Thanks, David.